Hey guys, my name is Haley, and today I'm going to be filming my wrap-up for the Tome Topple Readathon, which took place the past 2 weeks and ended last Thursday, I believe it was. And I read all 3 books on my TBR, so let's get started. The first book that I actually started and completed in the first couple days of the Readathon was The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. This was fantastic, and if you've been around here for a while on my channel, you'll know that I've been putting this off because I knew it was going to be really good, and I was really worried that it was going to kind of take over my life and I wasn't going to want to read anything else. And I wasn't wrong. I really do want to read the sequel. I'm just waiting because there's a couple more books I want to get to before that happens. But this was so good. I loved the main character, Kavath. I loved Ari, I loved everyone, but I think my favorite was Master Eladin, I believe his name was, who is the master namer at the university, and he is just the craziest, like, nonsensical person ever, and he reminds me so much of the Mad Hatter from Alice in Wonderland. I'm not sure why, but those are the vibes I get from him. And he's just fantastic, and every scene he was in I loved so much, and I was always cracking up at his weird antics, but this book was incredible. I cannot wait to read the sequels. I cannot wait for the adaptation that they're making with Lin-Manuel Miranda, who's going to be working on the music for it because he's friends with Patrick Rothfuss, and just whew, I'm so excited. And it was perfect timing too because they just announced it and I was like, I literally just read that book, so that's amazing. I think Patrick Rothfuss's writing just fit this world so well because it's a very intricate world, and I love the way that magic works in this world. And the fact that anyone can essentially, like, work at doing magic. Like, you don't have to be born with the ability or anything like that. I wasn't a huge fan of Denna because I am a little bit suspicious of her. I'm not sure why, I just get weird vibes from her. But, so we'll see if my intuition's right on that one when I read the second one, but I really enjoyed this. I'm so happy that I finally read it, and I can't wait to continue with this series. And I hope we get a release date for the third book soon because I'm really scared that the second one's gonna end on some cliffhanger that I'm gonna want to cry. By the way, this is literally my favorite read of this entire year. Like, it made it shot right to the top of my list, so you'll be seeing this in another video this month. The Name of the Wind, by the way, was for the challenge of read a book in a series and read an adult book because it's both of those. Then I read Blankets by Craig Thompson for Read a Graphic Novel over 500 pages, and this is one of the few graphic novels that is over 500 pages, and I didn't like it, which was really sad. I do like the art style, it's interesting, but I just felt like the story wasn't very interesting and, like, nothing happened, and I didn't really like either of the characters. And it was just, I don't know, I just really didn't like it at all. I think I gave it 3 stars mostly because I really liked the writing. Like, Craig Thompson's writing style in here was really, really beautiful. Like, I liked the way he worded things, and I did like the illustrations. I just didn't like the actual, like, overall concept of the story. I felt like it was very boring, nothing really happened. And I did like that this touched on his, like, Christian faith, but I also had issues with the way it was portrayed in here, and yeah, that's all I have to say about that. I'm definitely going to be unhauling this and probably taking it to, like, half-price books, but yeah, this was a bit of a disappointment. Did not enjoy. And lastly, I read The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. This was a bit of a mixed bag for me. I like the writing. I like the chapters that talk about, in second person, about you going to the circus. It'll be like, you did this and you went to this tent. Those were really neat, but I felt like the romance in this was I was not on board with it, and I felt like it was just super insta-lovey and like written in the stars, which I wasn't expecting it to be so focused on the romance. I did really like the idea of the circus that only appears at night, and I just felt like the whole beginning, especially like the first 100 to 200 pages even, was just very confusing because there's a lot of time jumps in here, and you kind of have to pay attention to the chapter headers to like realize whose perspective you're looking at or what time it is, or like it's just really weird like formatting for me of the way the book was set up. And I didn't particularly like any of the characters, which was really sad. I kind of liked Poppet and her brother, but other than that, like, none of these characters really did it for me. I was really sad. I think I ended up giving it 3.754 stars just because I liked the concept, but I was just not expecting the majority of it to be about, like, the romance, because that's not the reason I read this, even though I knew it had a romance in it. I don't know, it was not what I expected, and I was disappointed because of it. And this was really hyped up for me because this is Sam from Thoughts on Tomes' favorite standalone, so I was really hyped about it for that reason, and it let me down a little bit, and it was really sad, even though I did give it a decent rating, but yeah. Those are all 3 of the books that I read for the Tome Topple Readathon. Thank you to Sam for creating this readathon. It has actually become my favorite of the readathons that I participate in during the year. So I really enjoyed it. I'm so glad that it gave me the push to read The Name of the Wind, especially, even though the other 2 were slight disappointments for me, but I enjoyed it and I had a good time, although I didn't read for like probably 4 or 5 days during the readathon because it was like Black Friday and Thanksgiving and everything. But these are all the ones that I did finish. Thank you all for watching, and I will see all of you guys next time.